Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICT's Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Yes, hello, good morning everyone. Happy Friday, Masalino Day Friday dito sa ating DepEd Online Tutorial ETUlay. Kasama of course ang inyong tutor of Hill na nandito sa Bataan, syempre. At bago ang lahat batiin lamang natin ang lahat po ng mga kasama nating nanonood ngayon, ang mga viewers from ETUlay Anli Chicas, ayan, at ang Pamilya Marshmallow na mga talaga naka-support system yan para sa DepEd Online Tutorial. At syempre, wag nating kalimutan para siguradong mas marami tayong mga kasama na mag-aaral at matututo. Siguraduhin lamang na naka-like at share ang ating mga DepEd Facebook pages, DepEd Philippines, DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd TV at DepEd Tayo. Wag din kalimutan mag-subscribe sa ating official YouTube channel, ang DepEd TV Official, DepEd Philippines, Educational Technology Unit. At palambing na rin po, pakilike at pakishare ang aking personal page, Simply of Hill, ang sa aming paaralan Samuel National High School Annex Official at DepEd TV 1 Bataan Production Team. Muli po, isang magandang umaga sa ating lahat at welcome sa ating DepEd Online Tutorial, ETUlay for Mathematics Remediation. At binabati rin natin ng good morning si Joshua Pasion, Grade 7 Einstein from Lalo National High School, SDO Cagayan Region 2. Ganoon din kay Gallagher Aguila from San Juan West Central School, Grade 2 Agoncillo, kay Shireen Hart Eduarte, Sophie Aguirre, Scott Boss, kay Michelle Bernardino, Princess Jamela Niega from Calamba City, kila Calvin Klein Mohar, ganyan din kila Doc RJ Calaguas from Magalang, Pampanga, kila Jesso Hasareno na nanonood from our official YouTube channel, Erin Miranda, Daniel Malaluan, at kila Bridge Tambal from Mangila Sur Elementary School, Candelaria, Quezon Province, at kila Princess Lian De Vera, Elen Marjes Tibayan, Altea Averilla, kila Daisy Jewel Magbanwa, at kila Sarah Jean Miranda and Teacher Me from District of Noveleta, siguro ito. Magandang morning po sa ating lahat. Magsimula na po tayo ng ating mathematics remediation para po sa ika-7 linggo sa ika-4 na markahan. Ayan. 2 weeks na lang tayo mga ETUlay learners at alam kong sobrang natuto tayo sa kabila ng pandemic dahil sa DepEd Online Tutorial program ng ating Department of Education. So, katulad na sinabi ko, this is just a mathematics remediation, kaya naman magre-review tayo. Ito ay para sa junior high school, pero sa mga nanonood nating mga elementary learners, walang problema dahil at least magkakaroon na kayo ng advanced information kung ano nga ba ang pinag-aaralan para sa ating junior high school. So let us start. Check natin ang ating PowerPoint presentation. Ayan. So, katulad ng ating discuss sa mga nakaraang uh, markahan, ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon ay solving problems involving distance formula. At muli ako nga inyong tutor of Hill na makakasama nyo this morning para sa ating mathematics remediation. Binabati ko rin si Christopher L. Urim from San Carlos, Pangasinan at ganoon din kila Aliana, kila Divina Peralta at kila Brea Tambal. Magandang umaga. So mag-review lang muna tayo. Kaya niyo bang hulaan kung ano ang salitang mabubuo mula sa mga letrang ito? Isulat lamang inyong mga kasagutan sa ating comment section. Sige nga po. Okay, so check natin mabuti. Kaya ba hulaan? Sulat lamang ating comment ang inyong mga sagot sa ating comment section. Ano kayang salita ito? So ito ay salita. Ito ay ang term o terminology na Pythagorean theorem. So maya-maya lamang ay papaliwanag ulit natin kung ano nga ba ang Pythagorean theorem, especially para doon sa mga hindi pa familiar kung ano nga ba ang tinatawag nating Pythagorean theorem. Yon, that is correct, Doc RJ. Mahusay. Okay, sundan naman natin ang ating pangalawang salita. Ano naman kaya ang salitang mabubuo sa mga letrang ito? Tingnan nga natin. Sabi ni Juanito Salas, it's Singaporean meteor. Okay, Princess Leah, that's Pythagorean theorem. You are correct. Joshua Passion, you're also correct. Yan. How about this? Daniel Malaluan, tama rin ang sagot. Ito naman ay Pythagoras. The word is Pythagoras. You're correct, Princess Leah De Vera. Very good. Mahusay. Tingnan natin naman ang ating pangatlong set o grupo ng mga letra. Ano naman kaya ang mabubuo nating salita mula sa mga letrang ito? Tingnan nga natin. Okay, let us check. Pythagoras, ang sagot ni Shireen Hart Eduarte, ganoon din sila Joshua Passion at si Christopher L. Urim. Sumagot na si Joshua, sabi niya distance. Tingnan nga natin kung ang sagot niya ay tama. Distance is correct. Very good. Good morning, Fiona Ariola. Distance, tama rin ang sagot ni Erin Miranda. Ngayon, let us remember Pythagorean theorem. So let us define what is Pythagorean theorem. You are correct. Daisy Jewel, Princess Jamela, Shireen, and Daniel Malaluan. Pythagorean theorem formula states that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So, ulitin natin na ang formula ng Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Okay? Now, Pythagorean theorem is discovered by Rufus Pythagoras in the early 17th century. So, na-discover or ipinangalan ng Pythagorean theorem mula sa nakadiscover nito na si Rufus Pythagoras noong panahon ng early 17th century. Okay. Next. Mula sa ating A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared na Pythagorean theorem formula, doon natin i-derive ang tinatawag nating distance formula, which is our main topic for this morning. So, paano ba natin ito dinerive or paano ba nakuha yung distance formula mula sa ating Pythagorean theorem formula? The C squared here, or the C squared, corresponds to the D as the distance. Yung ating C squared ay nag-appropriate or nagmamatch sa ating letter D sa formula na ang ibig sabihin ay distance. On the other hand, ang value naman ng A ay ang mga value ng X with the coordinates sa ating distance formula. Ang value ng A ay ang value ng X with the coordinates sa ating distance formula. Furthermore, ang value naman ng B ay ang mga coordinates na ng Y sa ating formula o sa ating distance formula. Ang value naman ng B ay ang mga coordinates ng ating Y sa ating distance formula. So So what is the distance formula? Yes, good morning then, Nisha Benistimpug from 8 Fairness Porac National High School at sa kanyang advisor, Maria Kimberly Ramos. Magandang umaga. And distance formula is the equation used to find the distance between 2 points. So, that is 2 points, okay, between 2 points. So, dalawang point, let's say point of reference, yung pinagmulan, at point of destination, yung pupuntahan. At nalalaman natin ang distance o ang pagitan nitong dalawang ito sa pamamagitan ng distance formula na pinakita na natin kanina, wherein the distance formula is denoted as, balik lang natin, d squared, or d is equal to the square root of the quantity x squared or x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Now, let us continue. So, malalaman natin, ulitin ko malalaman natin ang distance sa pamamagitan ng ating distance formula. At kapag sabi nating distance, ito ay ang pagitan mula doon sa ating point of reference o pinanggalingan at sa ating papunta sa ating point of destination o patutunguhan. Yes, hello, good morning. So, what are the coordinates? Coordinates are the pair of points that corresponds to the origin and destination. Yung katulad ng pinaliwanag ko kanina, mula sa pinagmulan sa patutunguhan. That is what we call coordinates. Okay? So mula dito, halimbawa, let's say x sub 1, y sub 1 is our first pair of coordinate, and then x sub 2, y sub 2 is our second pair of points or coordinate. Good morning then, Kevin, Francisco Felix, Elementary School, Kevin Neil Andres Pastor. So let's have an example on this given. So sa ating example, find the distance between 0.00 and 0.68. Pinakita na natin dyan yung ating solution. So I want you to discover, gusto ko pag-aralan ninyo kung paano nakuha para malaman natin mamaya kung paano ba natin nakuha talaga ito kapag in-explain ko na siya isa-isa. O sige, I'm giving you a minute para tingnan muna ang ating example sa ating monitor. So dahil binigyan ko kayo ng 1 minuto, paalala lamang na huwag kalimutan na laging mag-subscribe sa ating official YouTube channel, ang DepEd TV Official, DepEd Philippines at Educational Technology Unit. At syempre huwag din magkalimutan mag-like at mag-share na ating mga DepEd Facebook pages, ang DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Philippines, DepEd TV at DepEd tayo. Ayan. So sabi nila, this equal to 10 po. Check natin ha. So, d is equal to 10, that is correct dahil nakita nyo naman sa ating given. So, paano nga ba naging d is equal to 10? Let us try to analyze this equation one by one or solution one by one. So, sabi kanina, our given is to find the distance between 0.00 and 0.68. The first thing that we need to do is to substitute the given to the formula. Mula sa ating formula, na d is equal to the square root of the quantity x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Una natin gagawin, we need to identify what is our x sub 1, x sub 2, and what is the value of our y sub 1, y sub 2. Yun ang una nating dapat gawin. From there, we have already identified that yung x sub 1 is equal to 0 at yung x sub 2 is equal to 6, y sub 1 is equal to 0, and y sub 2 is equal to 8. Okay? So from there, we will substitute the given to our formula. So we will have d is equal to the square root of 0 or 6 minus 0 squared plus the quantity 8 minus 0 squared. Ayun, may sagot na si Joshua Passion. That is correct. We substitute the given to our formula and that will become 6 minus 0 squared and 8 minus 0 squared. You are correct. So yung x sub 2 natin is 6, x sub 1 natin is 0, y sub 2 is 8, and y sub 1 is 0. So from our given, after natin ma-substitute, we will perform the indicated operation inside the square root. Yes, hello, good morning kay ating Senpai Carl Tadeo from Olongapo City. Kay Tutor Carl, magandang umaga. So, katulad ng ginawa ni Joshua Passion sa ating comment section, we will simplify. We will have now the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared. That is correct. 6 minus 0 is 6. 8 minus 0 is 8. And then since naka-square itong dalawang given, we will have the square root of 6 squared plus 8 squared. You are correct, Joshua. After that, that is correct. Very good, Princess. So, isi-simplify na natin yung ating nakuhang 6 squared plus 8 squared. We will have now the square root of 6 times 6 is 36 plus 8 times 8 is 64. Very good, Joshua. That is correct. So, 6 times 6 is 36 and 8 times 8 is 64, or 6 squared is 36 and 8 squared is 64. And then we simplify. We just simply get 36 plus 64 is 100. And since we still have the radical symbol, magkakaroon tayo ng square root of 100. And remember po, mga learners, na ang ating distance must be positive. Kapag negative ang nakuha nating sagot sa ating distance, ibig sabihin, mali ang ating naging solution or naging process. Bakit kailangan positive lang ang ating maging sagot? Or bakit kailangan i-regard natin ang kailangan nating kuhanin na sagot ay positive lamang? Dahil wala namang distance na negative, di ba? For example, wala naman naglalakad na batang patalikod. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na negative 7 kilometers po ang nilakad ko. So, ibig sabihin mula sa bahay hanggang sa inyong eskwelahan ay patalikod ka bang naglakad? Hindi, di ba? So, lahat ng mga distansya ay pa-forward. So, dahil nagdadagdag tayo, ibig sabihin, positive ang dapat na magiging sagot natin from time to time. Okay, now, the answer will become square root of 100, which will give you a positive 10, a result of distance. So, 10 will be the distance on the given. You are correct, Daisy Jewel Magbanwa. Tama rin ang sagot kanina ni Joshua. And ganoon din ang sagot nila Erin. You are also correct. Very good. Saka si Layson, Hasareno, Lily John. That is correct. Now let's have, that is already our given kanina. So now let us try to answer this activity. Subukan naman nating sagutan ang ating nakikita sa ating mga monitor or sa ating screen. Ano ba yung mga nakikita natin dyan? Meron tayong palaruan, meron tayong paaralan, at meron din tayong tahanan. Ang ating assignment o ang ating gagawin ngayon ay kailangan nating malaman ang distansya ng bawat isa. Ang tahanan natin o ang bahay natin ay may coordinate na 0.43. Samantalang ang ating palaruan ay may coordinate na 3, negative 4. At ang ating namang paaralan ay may coordinate na negative 2, 8. Yon, correct ang obserbasyon ni Joshua at ni Fiona. Sabi nila merong bahay, palaruan at paaralan. Gayon din ang sagot ni Daniel Malaluan. Yon. Now, let us try to answer the following question. Let us find the distance between the house and the park, the house and the school, and the distance between the school and the park. Una nating simulan ang distansya o ang sasagot o paghahanap ng distansya mula sa bahay papunta sa park. So from the given points, we will have 4, 3, and 3, negative 4. Ang point ng ating house ay 4, 3. Ang point ng ating park ay 3, negative 4. On our given, we will assign the value of the points kung sino dito ang x sub 1, y sub 1, at sino ang x sub 2, y sub 2. From there, we will have x sub 1 is 4, x sub 2 is 3, y sub 1 is 3, and y sub 2 is negative 4. Wait lang i-highlight natin ng konti. Check natin. So, ito yung ating given coordinates, mga learners. Ang ating 4, 3 at 3 negative 4. Inassign natin, tandaan nyo, ito lagi ang x natin, x sub 1. Ito naman ang y sub 1. This one will become our x sub 2 and y sub 2. So, nag-assign tayo ng ating given. Okay? Now, let us try to substitute the given to our formula. D is equal to the square root of the quantity 3 minus 4 squared plus the quantity negative 4 minus 3 squared. Tingnan natin mga sagot. Ayun, may mga formula na ako nakikita from Joshua. That is correct. Should be negative 4 minus 3. Dahil ang ating y sub 2 is negative 4. So let us try to check this one. And then after that, we will simplify ang ating given sa ating formula. So from there, we will perform the indicated operation. Magiging quantity 3 minus 4 raised to the second power plus negative 4 minus 3 raised to the second power. That's still under the square root. So, ang mangyayari natin dyan ay we will have the square root of square root of quantity negative 1 squared plus the quantity negative 7 squared. After that, ang susunod natin ay we will have the d or square root of 1 plus 49. From there, you will have d is equal to the square root of 50. Ngayon, mga learners, hindi lahat ng ating mga given naka-simplified form na. Like for example, nakita ko sa ating comment section, may sagot si Christopher L. Yorim. Ang sagot niya is 5 square root of 2. That is correct. No? Kailangan i-simplify muna natin yung given. Pero sa palagay ko, hindi ko yata sinimplify muna to for a basic solution. So, ibig sabihin, nag-stop muna ako dun sa ating d square root of 50. Pero we can simplify the square root of 50 by having this one. Check natin kung meron ba sa ating given na perfect square factor. At ang 50 ay merong perfect square factor. Ito ay 25 and 2. 25 times 2. Therefore, we will have now the square root of 25 times 2. And then, syempre, kapag nakuha natin square root of 25, that will become 5 square root of 2. Nakuha? Nakuha ba? Nakikita ba yung ating simplified form sa ating gilid ng monitor? Na-check ba? Okay, you are correct pero tama yung sagot sa kaninang pinakita natin. Yung nagbigay ng 5 square root of 2, you are correct. However, acceptable yung square root of 54 now dahil nga hindi naman natin pinapasimplify muna yung ating final answer. Okay, ayun nag-compute si Joshua, sabi niya 7.07 based sa calculator na yan. So that is more accurate. Okay, now let's have another one. The distance between house to park is square root of 50. So, paano daw nakuha yun? That is 25 times 2. Ayan, meron pala tayong paliwanag dyan. So, we will have now d is equal to 5 square root of 2. Ayan. Is that correct? Nakuha ba? Nakuha? Okay, very good. Now, let us try to solve for the distance between house to school. From the given points for 3 and negative 2, 8, on our given x sub 1 is equal to 4 and x sub 2 is equal to negative 2. Y sub 1 is equal to 3 and y sub 2 is equal to 8. Now, substitute lang natin ang ating given sa ating formula. We will have now d is equal to the square or the quantity, square root of the quantity negative 2 minus 4 raised to the second power plus quantity 8 minus 3 raised to the second power. So, we will have now to simplify the given to our formula. Ano-ano ang ating gagawin? We simplify. Negative 2 minus 4 will become negative 6 squared plus 8 minus 3 is 5 squared. So, this is equal to the square root of the quantity negative 6 squared plus 5 squared. After that, we will have to perform the operation of the square root of the squared, the exponent. So, we will have negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. 5 times 5 is 25. Joshua Passion, you are also correct. Next. Pe-perform lang natin, square root of 36 plus 25 is equal to the square root of 61. Ayan. So check natin habang nagsasagot sila. Good morning from San Roque Central School, student Heavenly Heart. Yu Tanghian. Grade 3, Sampaguita. Parent Carl Mark C. Tanghian. Teacher Mrs. Marifel Uy. Malinit. Marifel Malinit. Principal Mrs. Mariclu Mateo Alpas. Good morning po. Yan. Square root of 61 ang sagot ni Christopher L. Urim. You are correct. Daniel Malaluan. Tama yun ang iyong sagot. So the answer will become square root of 61. We cannot convert or hindi natin mapapasimple ito dahil wala naman siyang factor na paano? Na perfect square. Kaya that square root of 61 will be the final answer. Now let's start or let us continue. 7.81 ang sagot ni Joshua based sa computed calculator or calculated from calculator. Thank you so much, Joshua. Yes, hello, good morning then, Charlie Temyo. Okay, now let us continue. From the given points, negative 2, 8, and 3, negative 4, school to park. So our given, x sub 1 is equal to negative 2, x sub 2 is equal to 3, y sub 1 is equal to 8, y sub 2 is equal to negative 4. Substitute the given to our formula. Let us try to check this one. We will have the square root of the quantity 3 minus negative 2 squared plus the quantity negative 4 minus 8 squared. Ang galing naman ni Joshua. Natutuwa ako kay Joshua. Very good. Paborito mo ba ang math, Joshua? Salamat ha. So D is equal to the square root of the quantity 3 minus negative 2 squared plus the quantity negative 4 minus 8 squared. Isi-simplify natin by performing the operation inside the parentheses, inside the radical symbol. So we will have now D is equal to the square root of 1 squared plus negative 12 squared. Favorite daw pala ni Joshua ang math. Thank you, Joshua, for loving mathematics. Tuloy-tuloy mo ha, walang susuko. Okay. Now let us continue. Fiona, this is a junior high school mathematics remediation. Well, grade 6 to junior high school. Okay, so we will have now D is equal to the square root of 1 plus 144. So, syempre, pag pin-inad natin, 1 plus 144, D is equal to the square root of 145. Ayan. Thank you po. Thank you so much, Erin Miranda. Ayan, engineer pala si Dad. Very good, favorite mo. Yes, Doc RJ, lumipat tayo ng pesto because, ayun, alam mo, kukwento ko na lang sa'yo sa susunod na pagkikita. Okay, let us continue. Therefore, D is equal to the square root of 145. And since wala namang perfect square number ang 145, D is equal to the square root of 145 will become our final answer. So, kung papakita natin ulit ang ating figure, the distance from house to park or from our tahanan sa ating palaruan ay 5 square root of 2 units. Samantala, ang distance naman mula sa ating paaralan sa ating palaruan ay square root of 145. At ang distance mula sa ating bahay o tahanan mula sa ating paaralan ay square root of 61. Yan, that is correct. Subukan nga natin bago matapos ang ating time today. So find the distance from the given points, 4, negative 2, and 2, 1. So on our given, let us substitute or assign the value of x sub 1 is equal to 4, x sub 2 is equal to 2, y sub 1 is equal to negative 2, and y sub 2 is equal to 1. So nag-substitute tayo ng our given. So we will have D is equal to the square root of the quantity 2 minus 4 raised to the second power plus the quantity 1 minus negative 2 raised to the second power. And then we simplify by performing the operation 2 minus 4. Ano ang 2 minus 4? Mga learners. That is negative 2. Tama. And then 1 minus negative 2 will become positive 3. So therefore, our formula or equation will become d is equal to the square root of negative 2 squared plus 3 squared. So we will have now d is equal to the square root of 4 plus 9. Therefore, we will have the answer 4 plus 9 is square root of 13. Christopher Elurim, you are correct. Daniel Malaluan, tama rin ang iyong kasagutan. Very good. Okay. So now let's have another one. Okay, so this will be our last example for this morning, mga ka-mathematics remediation dyan. So from the given points 5, 2, and 6, 7, find their distance. So we have on our given x sub 1 is equal to 5, x sub 2 is equal to 6, y sub 1 is equal to 2, and y sub 2 is equal to 7. Tama ang sagot ni Althea Averilla kanina. Lely Gelson Hasareno, you are also correct. Very good. Ang gagaling nila. Daniel Malaluan, tama ang iyong sagot. Ang gagaling. Nice. So we substitute our given to our formula. We will have the square root of 6 minus 5 raised to the second power plus the quantity 7 minus 2 raised to the second power. Thank you so much, Joshua, for talagang nakatutok ka dyan. Very good. Thank you so much. Ngayon, i-solve natin mabuti. We will simplify the operation inside the parentheses. We will have the square root of 6 minus 5 is 1 and 7 minus 2 is 5. So therefore, we will have the square root of 1 squared plus 5 squared. Correct, Joshua? And then we will have the square root of 1 plus 25. And then, sige nga daw, good morning po, John Radel Tolentino watching from Kulunguan, Santo Tomas, Isabela District. Magandang umaga. Okay, so we will have the answer of square root of 26. And 6, since ang square root of 26 ay wala ring factor na perfect square, automatic square root of 26 will be our final answer. Ayun. So let's have a little fast math bago natin tapusin ito. Square root of 100, write your answer or our comment section. What is the square root of 100? Square root of 100 is positive, negative 10. That is correct. Okay, how about square root of 144? Daniel, Joshua, Erwin, you are correct. Let us have square root of 144. That is positive, negative 12. Correct. Very good. Now let's have another one. What is square root of 49? Joshua, you're correct. Erin Miranda, tama yung sagot. Daniel Malaluan, tama yung sagot. Althea Averilla, nakahabol ka sa yung sagot kanina. You are correct. Princess Niega, tama rin ang yung sagot. Christopher Olirim, the answer is 12 kanina. Now, the answer for this one is positive, negative 7. You are correct, Joshua. Erin, tama ang sagot. Daniel, tama rin yung sagot. How about the square root of 81? Okay, now let's have... okay. Square root of 81 is positive, negative 9. Erin, you are correct. Passion, Joshua, you are also correct. Very good. How about square root of 121? Pakita ko na agad ang sagot. Mabilisan. What's your answer? Positive, negative 9 ang sagot kanina nila. That is correct. Okay, so we have square root of 11. Positive, negative 11, square root of 121. Joshua, Shireen, Erin, and Daniel, you are also correct. Now let's have another one. How about square root of 169? Let's check. 169. Ano nga ba ang sagot ng 169? Square root of 169. Christopher Elurim, you are also correct. Princess Jamela Niega, tama rin ang iyong kasagutan. Erin, sabi niya 13. Joshua, 13. That is correct. Positive, negative 13. Daniel, tama rin ang iyong sagot. Let's have another one. Square root of 225. What is square root of 225? Let us check your answer, mga Mathematics Matherific learners. 15 ang sagot ni Erin Miranda. Joshua Passion, 15 din. That is correct. Positive, negative, 15. Very good. Ang gagaling. How about square root of 1? What is square root of 1? Ang ating sagot ay, of course, that is 1. Positive, negative 1. Sabi nila Erin, ni Joshua, at ni Shireen, ni Daniel, at ni Princess. And last but not the least, our square root of 36. What's our answer? Kevin, Neil, Andres, Pastor, you are also correct. Square root of 36 is positive, negative 6. Erin Miranda, tama ang iyong kasagutan. Joshua, tamang sagot kanina sa ating sagot. Christopher Elirim, Joshua Passion is 6. That is correct. Very good. So, maraming salamat mga ETUlay learners sa pagsama sa inyong Tutor of Hill ngayong Masalino Day Friday Mathematics Remediation. At huwag mong kalimutan na abangan ang inyong Tutor Jester at Tutor of Hill para sa ating summer camp. Excited na ba kayo mga learners, ETUlay learners? Ayan, kasama ko na si Tutor Jester. Tutor Jester, ano nga ba ang mangyayari sa ating ETUlay hashtag ETUlay Field Trip para sa ating summer camp?
Yes, magandang umaga Tutor Abhil at sa lahat ng ating mga online learners at viewers. Magkakasama-sama tayo sa mga susunod na linggo sa ating summer camp. Ito ay pinamagatang ETUlay Field Trip. So Tutor Abhil, lilibutin natin ang iba't ibang mga makasaysayang historical na mga lugar sa buong bansa at gagawin natin maging sa buong mundo. Ayan, Tutor Abhil.
Kayanin sana natin yan, Tutor Jester, no? Pero mukhang excited na si Tutor Jester. At ako din naman ay sobrang excited na rin na ipasyal kayo sa mga pupuntahan namin ni Tutor Jester. Virtually nga lang muna ha, kasi nga stay safe muna tayo, stay at home. Kaya kahit nasa mga tahanan kayo ay sigurado namang makakapasyal kayo kasama ang inyong Tutor Jester at Tutor of Hill sa Av Travels Jess Ventures. Ayan.
Yes, kaya naman Tutor Abhil, iniimbitahan natin lahat ng all grade levels na makiisa at mag-enjoy at syempre maglakbay para sa ating ETUlay Field Trip.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Tutor Jester.
Alright.
Ingat ka. Salamat. Well, muli maraming salamat mga ating mga learners, sa lahat ng mga nakasama ko rito sa ating Masalino Day Friday Mathematics Remediation. Huwag kayong aalis, standby lang kayo dahil susunod na ang ating iba't iba pang mga mathematics tutor at TLE tutors for this Friday. At abangan ako mamaya sa Mathematics 1 para humalili kay Ma'am Arlene at of course sa Mathematics 10. Ingat po palagi and good morning. Bye-bye!